driving us bonkers for a while. And the myth that we see out there is that they tell you to be active on all social networks. Now, raise your hand if you've heard that one before. You have to get out there and be active on all these different social networks. So
my hands raised, Adam. My hands raised and waving.
got them both up and jumping around, and
That's right.
I feel like Horseshack here. Ooh, that's me. That's me over here. Okay. All right. So there's so many of them out there, and so I was doing a little Google search here in terms of social networks. I was trying to figure out how many exist, because it's one of those things that it's changing so frequently. It's hard to keep up on things. But I found a little article here by. I'm going to say the name is Liis, L-I-I-S, Hainla from DreamGrow. And so based on estimated unique visitors per month, all right, number one's Facebook. You got over 1 billion, 1.13 billion. Not too far behind is YouTube with 1 billion. So you got two of those guys already with over 1 billion. That's 1 billion estimated unique monthly visitors. So a lot of people are going to check those places out. Then there's a little bit of fall off. Number 3 is Twitter at 313 million. Followed by LinkedIn at 255 million. And rounding out the top 5 is Pinterest at 250 million. So I think those are names most people have heard of: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. They've been there for a little while. Then it starts to get a little more sketchy, or things that aren't as are not as popular. You have things like Google Plus and Tumblr and Instagram and Reddit, and something was called VK. Well, how do you keep up with all these things? People tell you to get out there and be social, and you hear things about these different products that are there that help to consolidate things, or to take one message and push it out to a bunch of things. I'm thinking, well, how is that being social? I mean, because you're to be social, it's to be present.
That sounds more annoying. That's how we usually read that stuff.
Yeah, it's just kind of pushing things out there, and you're not really engaged. It's like, hey, if you have a chance to go to 5 parties this weekend, you can only go to 1. Okay, well, pick the one you want to go to, right? Or maybe you can go to 2. And versus just kind of make an appearance, be like a politician and say, hey, I was there. Okay, let me move on to the next one. Okay, well, but to be there and engage and really be part of it, it's very difficult to be in all those things.
I think many of the people who sell these social networks basically are looking at an audience who is absolutely ripe for taking. They just don't understand it. They have to put their hands almost totally in the professionals who sell this stuff. There's a big time and investment situation if you're to pursue all social networks. I mean, it's an impossibility. You have to basically figure out what's best for your company, what's appropriate, what kind of a budget. I hate that word, but what kind of money can you logically spend per month to develop your business and promote your business through social networking? That's how you have to start it.
Well, it's a combination. We always talk about marketing, Jack, as being that balance of, or you're weighing the scales between time and money. That's what you're always trying to look at when it comes to it. And I think one of the big attractions of social media is that the cost usually tends to be pretty low. Cost from a dollars and money standpoint. It's more from a time standpoint. There's a study that I read probably 6 months ago. And they talked about folks who had some success with developing business online, and the study that was done showed that it took an average of about 2 years to get some results, and that averaged 30 hours per week.
Wow!
So basically, a full-time effort, a full-time employee equivalent for 2 years to start getting stuff. So while it might seem free, quote unquote free, because you aren't necessarily having to pay money for it, you're spending a lot of time and effort to make this thing start to happen.
Oh yeah, you put a value on your time, and those numbers really are racked up. If there are any business owners or people who even sell social networking, give us a call. Tell us some, we'll call it war stories, good or bad.
How about some success stories? That's always the hardest one to find out. People jump into this stuff, and I think many don't put that time and effort into it. They'll start out, gung-ho, ready to kind of go. I'm doing all this stuff, and it may last for a few weeks or a few months, or but then it kind of dies out because all of a sudden they aren't getting immediate results. They're hoping, hey, this thing comes and it's going to all of a sudden drop all this great stuff on me, and it's a very crowded sea out there of stuff. So to be found, you have to be there, and if you don't enjoy it, you got to find somebody who actually enjoys being social like that online. Not everybody does.
That's absolutely right. And you have to do homework. There's no question. You just can't do something quickly and all of a sudden you're out there. You know, you have to analyze where your past business is from, where did it come from, and profile ideal clients. That's usually the best way to do it. So if you get 15, 20 characteristics of your ideal client, again, your ideal client comes from someone who's paid you money in the past, and then you basically, you look to the various sites and programs of social networks to see who fits that profile the best, and that's who you really commit bucks to.